I think the toxicity has gone because people like yourself realised you got it wrong, and therefore you're, it's no good giggling.
I can't help giggling.
Okay, so in this call, you're going to hear a ridiculous caller who thought he could call James and tell him what he'd got wrong about Brexit. And I thought it was quite funny, given that we now know that everything that Brexiteers said was going to happen has never happened. If you want to see more videos like this, hit the like and subscribe buttons, and don't forget to ring the notification bell so you never miss a video. Now let's watch this together, and then I'll give you my thoughts at the end.
Peter's in the New Forest. Peter, what would you like to say?
Hi, James.
Hello, mate.
I think what we really need is something like what happened in South Africa with the Truth and Reconciliation Commission, in which all sides admit to their errors, their lies and their misjudgments. And you very astutely, as you always did, pointed out what the Brexiteers got wrong. But
yes.
you don't say what the Remainers got wrong. You've consistently said it was going to be a disaster, but it hasn't been a disaster. There has been no Brexit disasters. There's been pinch points, there's been difficulties. But using language
4% of GDP for the foreseeable future is a disaster.
That was a projection.
That's Goldman Sachs, mate. That's the projection that Rishi Sunak used to use to be a hedge fund. To be a hedge fund manager.
That's a projection, and it hasn't happened.
Well, it has happened.
No, it hasn't. Goldman Sachs have been pulled up for wrong predictions in the past. Can I just give you some of the untruths that were predicted by the Remainers?
Are you here to demonstrate that the toxicity hasn't gone away, and that people like you, despite winning, are still bitter about things that were said by the other side 10 years ago?
I'm not bitter at all. I'm trying to explain why I think the toxicity has gone, because people like yourself realised you got it wrong, and therefore you're it's no good giggling.
I can't help giggling. Giggling's allowed.
Well,
Come on, giggling's allowed. Right. If people say funny things, we're allowed to giggle.
All right, you are. Well,
so what did I get wrong?
Let me tell you some funny things that were said.
No, tell me what I got wrong.
Yeah, well, I think you can either agree with these. I think you agreed with all of these. I don't listen to.
No, tell me what I got wrong.
George Osborne said house prices would fall.
Tell me what I got wrong.
I think you repeated that at the time.
I can assure you that I didn't. I was working for the BBC at the time, so I was scrupulously impartial. But what did I get wrong personally?
I'm talking. No, don't. You always do this. I'm talking about the Remainers. You
literally just said you realise you've got everything wrong, and that's why the toxicity is diminishing. I'm perfectly entitled to respond by saying, "What did I get wrong, Peter?"
About the Remainers.
What did I get wrong?
Well, I'll tell you two huge mistakes you made on your show. You said that the four freedoms were indivisible and that we would not get tariff-free trade.
No, frictionless trade.
No, you said tariff-free trade.
Frictionless trade, Peter.
No, you were wrong. You said tariff-free trade, and I've asked your producer to go back because you didn't expect...
Frictionless trade, and there are tariffs. There are tariffs in place.
It's on services. It's largely tariff.
Try and import a crate of tomatoes from France. Peter, what I'm going to do? You know what I'm going to do? I'm going to channel Emily Maitlis. And I'm going to say, are there tariffs or are there costs attached to importing things? Peter, you must let me speak.
No, you must let me speak.
I'm not allowed to giggle, and now I'm not allowed to speak. So the question is very simple.
You're not allowing me to speak.
Peter, I have to ask you a question before you can answer it.
No, you said we've got a degree.
Does it cost more to import goods?
You said
Peter,
we would get
you can keep talking over me, but everyone can hear that you're not answering the question. Okay.
Yeah, you're not answering my question because you haven't allowed me to make my case.
£9.6 billion worth.
I'll answer your question.
Okay.
Just let me tell you some of the lies that the Remainers said, right?
No, because that's not what the phone-in is. The phone-in's not that. I want you to answer the question of whether or not...
Yeah, I've answered it, and now I'm going to go
What was your answer?
My answer was, you said that the four freedoms were indivisible,
which is true.
And we would not.
That's in the Charter of the European Union,
Peter. We would
Peter.
not get any tariff.
Frictionless trade.
Tariff-free trade.
Frictionless trade. So now the question then becomes, are there now... Peter, mate, I thought you were here to tell me the toxicity had diminished.
Yeah, I have. And
but you're sounding well toxic, mate.
Because you won't allow me to get to...
No, I won't allow you to avoid the question. I won't allow you to avoid the question.
No, you won't allow me to speak. You do this all the time.
No, I don't. I insist that people answer the question. Are you going to answer the question? Are you going to answer the question?
The CBI, I've answered the question, and now I'm asking you to move on. The CBI, sponsored by Price Waterhouse, and you repeated this afterwards, said that unemployment would reach...
I think we can all agree I'm never going to be Emily Maitlis, am I?
Okay, so this caller, Peter, tried to rewrite 6 years of failed economics and economic history by claiming Brexit wasn't and hasn't been a disaster. But he saw how James dismantled him, not by arguing, but just by asking simple questions. Peter's entire argument rested on the belief that Remainer predictions of economic harm were wrong. And James's question, are there costs attached to importing things, wasn't an opinion, it was just a simple question of fact. And Peter couldn't answer, because the answer destroys his own premise. The new costs, the new paperwork, the new border checks, that is the friction. That is the disaster he claims doesn't exist. And he walked right into a trap of his own making. And the contradiction was insane. He said that the toxicity had vanished, yet he was bitter, aggressive, and refused to engage in a good faith debate. And it's really funny, actually. People on the right have pretty much won everything for the last decade, and yet they are still full of hatred and bitterness. When his argument was tested against a single undeniable fact, it completely collapsed. And we see this time and time and time again. And as James even says himself, these people don't really call him anymore. So all we have really are these memories to go on. He's created such a climate of fear around how you can dismantle people that they don't even call him. And it's the same with politicians. They don't go on his show unless he is friendly with them. You know, that's the pathetic landscape that British politics is in at the moment. Truly, truly pathetic. Anyway, so let me know your thoughts. And if you want to see more videos like this, hit the like and subscribe buttons, and I'll catch you in the next one.